Hey there guys and girls, Matthew's here and welcome back to another video. So today let's spend a little bit of time and talk about the legendaries. Now the legendaries are going to be a huge player for anybody that wants to maximise their professions and make a bit of gold come Shadowlands. But how do we go about maximising this, and is there any ways that we can plan ahead and utilise what we already know to try and put down some plan of action, should we say. But firstly, I suppose I better do a quick 30-second TLDR on exactly how it is you start to be able to craft these base legendary items to give those guys that are still trying to catch up a little bit of time to do some understanding. So firstly, you need to ding 60. That's a big question that I get asked many times on stream. Do I need to be level 60 to create the base legendary items? And the answer is yes. The simple reason for that is that you've got to speak to this guy, that guy, the Rune Carver. He's a dude that's located in Torghast, and of course Torghast is located in the Moor, and the Moor is an end game level 60 zone. So yeah, you got to get to level 60 to be able to do this. Secondly, you also need to maximize your profession. You need to be max skill in either jewel crafting, leatherworking, blacksmithing, or tailoring to be able to pick up the base legendary items. Once you have them though, it's pretty simple, pretty easy game from there on. It's just regular ass materials and you can create the base legendary items. Now, the best way to learn how to make gold with the base legendary items is to know as and when people are going to want them. And that's going to be the main topic of conversation today. When are people going to want to buy these base legendary items? You may have heard that there are 4 ranks of base legendary item, and this is entirely true. With your professions, you're going to need to spend an increased amount of time crafting the base legendary items to unlock the next ones in the journey. You've got to craft 10 rank 1 base legendary items to unlock a rank 2. You've got to craft 5 rank 2s to unlock a rank 3, and then an additional 5 rank 3 base legendary items to unlock rank 4. Now of course you're going to want to sell the majority of these, because there's unlikely to be any situation where you're going to be able to use all of those base legendary items yourself, so selling them on the auction house is going to be key. But when are you going to be able to craft your legendaries, and more importantly, when are other people going to be able to craft their legendaries, so we all know exactly when we can start selling them to make the most gold? Well, to work this out, I need to use one of my favourite resources, Wowhead. Everybody knows what Wowhead is. They recently put out a post telling us about some of the differences that are now in place about soul ash. Soul ash is one of the materials needed to create the end legendary. If we very quickly look at the Rune Carver, for example, when you go to craft your legendary, you first off have to put your base legendary item in. You then get to select the legendary power for your class. You then get to select which secondary stats you're going to use. All of these 3 items here you're going to pick up off the auction house more than likely. And then you throw a bit of soul ash at it, which is the resource that you gain through playing Torghast, and that soul ash is going to allow you to create the legendary. Pretty simple. But Blizzard being Blizzard, they have put a little bit of time gating in place for this, and so there is going to be a 1250 soul ash requirement to craft your first legendary item. Let's just silence this for a moment. There we go. Yeah, 1250 soul ash required for your first legendary item. Now, sounds fine, but guess what? You can only gain 1200 soul ash in a single week. What does this mean? Well, it means that in the first week of Shadowlands, nobody's going to be creating legendaries. Nope. Not even if you're the highest professional mythic raider are you going to be able to create a legendary in the first week of Shadowlands. There's a couple of reasons for this. One, it takes a lot of the pressure off because there's a lot of other stuff to be doing in the first week of Shadowlands. But secondly, it gives players a bit more time to sort of relax, and it allows Blizzard a way to stretch out the lifespan of these legendaries a bit more. We've had some topics previously on stream about how rank 1 legendaries always feel like they're going to sell well, and rank 4 legendaries always are going to seem to have a place in the market, but rank 2 and 3 legendaries were kind of just like in the middle, and most people would ignore them. This new system plans to sort of address that issue and gives us a good opportunity to sell all of the rank 1s, the rank 2s, the rank 3s and the rank 4s. So let's take a look in a bit more detail about exactly how much soul ash people are going to need to create these different ranked legendaries. So we've already worked out 1250 is needed to create the first legendary. That's going to happen in week 2. What does this mean for goblins? Quite simply, week 1 gives you time to level up your characters, level up your professions, get access to the base legendary items and start crafting. If you want to be in a position to be able to sell rank 2 legendaries in week 2 when they become available, you're going to have to do a lot of legwork and gather a lot of materials and presumably spend a lot of gold to be able to do so in the first week. So this takes a bit of pressure off as goblins having to do it as soon as it's physically available. Week 2 of Shadowlands, you will actually be able to choose whether you want to create a rank 1 or a rank 2. This is good. This is really good, and I'll explain why. You have to create 10 rank 1 legendaries to unlock rank 2. So what this ultimately means is there's going to be a lot of rank 1 legendaries kicking about. In the first week, they're going to be created by people with their professions, and the likelihood that people are going to buy them in the first week is very slim, because as we've discussed, you can't do anything with it. It's not till week 2 you can actually use it, and most people tend not to gather the materials they need to craft something until literally 30 seconds before they want to craft it, because people don't plan. But that's another topic of conversation. But week 2, tell you what, let me show you something. This makes it a little bit easier. Week 2, you have the ability to gain a maximum of 2,400 soul ash by that point, which actually means you can create rank 1s or rank 2s. This is great. This gives us a little bit of chance to sell lots of rank 1s to the more casual players that maybe have only done Torghast a little bit, but the more hardcore players out there are going to be seeking out those rank 2s. If you're the guy on your server that's powered through and created 10 rank 1s to be able to even craft the rank 2s, you're going to make a boatload of sales in week 2, trust me. Now week 3, let's move on a little bit further. Week 3, even if you do everything and gain the maximum soul ash, you're only going to have 3,600 soul ash in total, which means you can buy rank 3 legendaries. Realistically, only the hardcore players are going to be able to achieve this. The restriction is still quite tight. You can only get 3,600 soul ash in total, whereas it's going to cost you 3,200 soul ash to create that rank 3. The limit, the amount there is only 400 difference. That realistically means that you're going to have to complete the first 7 layers of Torghast minimum every single week to be able to hit this threshold. It's really quite tight, and only a few characters on your server are likely to be in a position where they can buy their rank 3 as soon as it's physically available. Rank 4 is a bit of a week off. Rank 4, there is no possibility, even for the characters that are min-maxing their gear, there's no opportunities for those guys to upgrade their legendaries to rank 4 in week 4. This feels a bit weird because you'd imagine that at this point it should just be plain sailing, but the fact that a rank 4 legendary costs a total of 5,150 soul ash, and you've only had the ability to farm up 4,800 of it, you're just going to have to wait, quite simply. But week 5, boom, week 5 is when people are going to be able to upgrade their legendaries to rank 4, should they so choose to. Now, how are goblins going to approach this? Well, quite simply, it gives us a little bit more flexibility and a little bit more time on our hands. As we know, materials are crazy prices at the beginning of an expansion. If you're a tailor, you're going to need the cloth like nobody's business. Blacksmiths are going to need a whole bunch of ore to make the Shadowghast ingots. They're going to need a lot of rare ore to be able to create their base legendaries in the first place. It just takes a little bit of weight off our shoulders. This is good long term, I feel. It stretches out the lifespan of all of the 4 base legendary items, where previously it was kind of like, as I mentioned earlier, rank 1s were always going to sell because they were going to be the cheapest, rank 4s were always going to sell because, well, they were the best, but the 2 in the middles were sort of dead on arrival straight away. Now with this new soul ash requirement to craft the items, it really gives people way more of an incentive to like casually level up their legendaries, go from rank 1 to rank 2 to rank 3 to rank 4 without having to a 100% complete Torghast each and every week. Interestingly, it actually gives alts a much better chance to get their legendary items. Your main is your main. If you choose to complete the game on your main, that's totally understandable. If you complete 8 wings of Torghast, 8 layers of Torghast across the 2 wings every week on your main, sure. But on your alt, you're probably not going to want to do that. It gives you a better ability. Goodbye, Apple. It gives you a better ability to get on board with your legendary items even on your alts, which, as far as goblins are concerned, quite simply means more sales. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping Blizzard doesn't change the numbers or tweak the numbers too much going forward. I'll of course let you know if they do. If you want to see all our research that we do for these videos live, we do live stream 5 days a week on this channel, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, the notification bell activated, and you'll get a little message exactly when we go live. But guys, I'll leave it there for this video. I hope that's been helpful to you. Subscribe if you're new around here, like the button if you enjoyed it, you know what I mean, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.